Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's training. I'm excited to have you here, have you part of my world. So if you're new to me, I'm Marshall Burtcher, and I help survivors of narcissistic relationships, codependency, rediscover their well-being and their happiness after those kinds of relationships, or even just a lifetime of it, because a lot of times we're raised in that stuff and we struggle to find out what is real and understand what's going on in our world. So that's what I do. I'm excited you're here. Before we get started, I need to share this out to the community real quick. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that the community is your safe haven where you find support, guidance, tools, and shelter, protection, where you're seen, you're believed, and you're understood in your experience. You can find the link to the community above on Facebook, below on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys for your support and all that. I'm got it shared out to the community. Okay, let's do this. So let me know you're here by saying hi in the comments. Guys, today we're gonna hit this big thing here because we're 2 weeks from the launch of the happiness strategy that starts on August 17th, which is completely geared towards helping you know, love, and live who you are. And one of those big struggles that we have is this question of how do I love myself? What does it even mean, right? We wrestle with this concept constantly. I get the question, I asked it hundreds of times in my own journey, and I get it frequently throughout the day, throughout the week. And it's one that we tend to seek a how. We tend to seek a methodology that will help us feel love for ourselves. And one of the bigger problems behind this isn't the how. It's what we think love is. Okay? So in relationships, emotional connections, we have this four components that show up. We have what's called the what, the how, the who, and the outcome or the result. And when we are dealing with the subject of how do I love myself, we're dealing with ourselves, so we're the who, what love means, and then how love works. And I'll tell you, my own journey out of this, I had to learn a specific kind of love. And I put that in quotes because it's not real love in my opinion. So if you're struggling to love yourself, you're likely dealing with one of the three specific values that we run through in life. So in life, there's three core types of value that we deal with. We have what's called transactional value, core values, which are principles or standards that we use to guide our life. And then we have what's called innate value, which is our intrinsic worth. Most people in the world are running love through the definition of what's called transactional value. Basically, that shows up as you're earning love. You're trying to prove yourself worthy. You're chasing it. You're trying to get it. You're trying to keep it. And dominantly, we feel loved when we are praised or appreciated for what we do. Because if we've been raised in a transactional environment, like, for instance, narcissistic abuse environments, or parents or systems or families, religious systems, secular systems, whatever it might be, family systems that are geared towards obedience, that are geared towards conformity, towards pleasing others, towards proving worthiness, specifically operating from a premise that you need to earn love, you need to earn approval, you need to earn respect. You're going to really struggle with loving yourself. You're going to struggle with understanding what love even is. You're going to chase love, much like if you were, the donkey and the carrot allegory, where you put the carrot out there and the donkey's constantly chasing it. Well, that's what transactional love is. You never actually accomplish it. You get a breadcrumb, you get a little bit of love, but then you're still chasing it because you're fundamentally starving for real love, and you're getting this fake love, this pseudo love, through this kind of transactional environment where you do A and they give you B. Now, how do we feel love in a transactional love or transactional value experience? You feel it by their approval. This is why we seek after approval. This is why we fear rejection. It's because it feels, rejection feels like hell because we're being rejected. We feel like love is being taken from us, that we're worthless. And approval is about, hey, I'm finally lovable. I'm finally worthy. I'm finally seen. Hi, Michelle. This is the big wrestle we're dealing with, is that we're seeking love rather than learning how to connect with love. So what does that even mean, to connect with love, to be love for ourselves? Well, this moves us towards this other type of value called innate value. So innate value is kind of this nebulous concept because it's somatic. It's felt, it's physical. It doesn't have a whole lot of analysis applied to it. It doesn't have a whole lot of how. Because it's more about beingness. It's about presence. It's about connection with self. And it's an appreciation and a praise and a respect for self that then fosters a sense of warmth and openness, kindness, and even a liking of ourselves. So there's this funny thing I discovered about 4 or 5 years ago in my own journey into loving myself, is since love has all these definitions and it has all this baggage, all this conditioning around it, it was really hard to love myself because I was coming from transactional value. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Even my brain's giving it to me now. Hey, you're not tall enough, you're not muscly enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this, you're not that, blah, blah, blah. So there was always these judgments, these limitations as to why I wasn't lovable. And that's all transactional value coming through, because if I'm not these things, then nobody's going to value me, and thus I won't get approval, thus I won't be loved. And if I'm not loved, then I'm not lovable. So another thing we deal with codependency is for us to feel like we're lovable, we first have to be loved, which is untrue. And this comes back to this innate value concept of being. And when I was exploring this and discovering this in myself, I realized that when I started to like myself, my sense of love started to expand, started to emerge naturally with an affection and a playfulness and a lightness. I started to respect my limits, respect my differences from myself and others. I started to appreciate them. See, people who have an internalized sense of healthy innate value or healthy love look at themselves as an addition to the world, as a contribution. They feel they matter. They feel they belong. Not that they just know it. It's not an intellectual exercise. It's an emotional experience that is a regular constant for them. It's a stable constant, meaning it's something they can refer to and they'll return to pretty easily. And that's because they were conditioned to see themselves that way through proper and healthy self-referencing by their parents, meaning their parents helped them tune into themselves and then value what they felt, value their individuality, value their presence in the space that they take up and occupy. They were appreciated for their presence, for their existence, for their beingness. This is where love is found. We're not going to find it in transactional value because that disconnects us from our body. It disconnects us from who we are. It puts us into codependent dynamics, chasing and fixing and pleasing and yada yada. We're going to find real love when we slow down and we start to acknowledge and legitimize and then praise and appreciate our feelings, whether they're positive or negative, our needs, our wants, our person, our limits, our desires, this physical space we take up. And we start to like ourselves, respect and appreciate ourselves. This is where love starts to show up. This is what we've been seeking all along anyway. It's what the euphoria in the love addiction cycle of euphoria, distress, despair. That's what it's seeking. It's seeking its wholeness through another person. Our wholeness is here. We just have to learn to recognize that our wholeness is what's been shamed, and then begin to reconnect with love and appreciation and respect and a like for this aspect of ourselves. This is the magic of coming into alignment with us and breaking free of transactional value and connecting with that innate value and retrieving our value from other people, places, and things, and allowing it to become sovereign or internalized within ourselves, within our body, so that we can sense it and we can recall it and we can come back to it, and then use that as a lens to understand our reality, to understand ourself more, to understand our pain, both past, present pain, to understand our needs through love and through care and compassion. And that's what we accomplish in the happiness strategies. I train you how to retrieve that value, how to nurture that value, and then how to see yourself through that lens, which ignites your voice and your vision about who you really are, what you really want. Because happiness is a byproduct of being aligned with our value, voice, and vision, because it allows us to know, live, and love who we be. That's the magic here. This is the solution to the self-love question. And this is a practice. This is not an event. Every day I practice bringing into my world, bringing back into my fold, the parts of me that were exiled through shame, through judgment, through hate. Bring them back home. Connect with them. Start to care for them. Start to respect them. And then allow a reconciliation and a trust to build. Guys, this is the journey back to us. This is the magic that I love. This is what I love teaching the most, is that we have it built into us. It's part of who we are. We just need to be trained in how to access it, how to respect and trust it, and allow it to guide us so that we exit codependency and enter our self-advocacy, enter our own well-being and happiness based on a premise, a person, a concept that is ours, and that we can follow for the rest of our lives. So, if you've been struggling with love, especially loving yourself, I recommend starting with liking yourself and starting to tune into the innate value. Now, because innate value is kind of this felt sense experience, it doesn't have a lot of words for it, but there's a consistent set of sensations that show up in the body with it, and that is joy, lightness, expansiveness, centeredness, groundness. These are the signals that you're becoming more aligned with you. It will challenge you, especially if you've grown up with codependency or narcissistic relationships. It's going to challenge you big time, because it's going to be so opposite to what is normal for you that your brain will my brain, especially at the beginning, was just like frozen. Like, what the hell? Wow, that's amazing. Is that even realistic? Can I really love myself that? Am I really that worthy? Am I really that? It's a wrestle. But through the happiness practice that you learn in the happiness strategy, this makes it safe, it makes it accessible, it makes it gradual, and it makes it real so that you can integrate it. So guys, that's what I want you to think about today. I welcome you, or I invite you rather, to join us in the happiness strategy. This is the last time this will be taught this year. The next time it will be taught is in March of 2021. I believe March 22nd is the next launch date. Let's see, we start August 17th. We have 21 spots available out of 25. So we got less than 13 days. These things fill up fast. You get lifetime access to the recordings and to the live version that we're teaching now and future versions. So you don't have to worry about pressuring yourself to get it all done now. I recommend getting in on that now. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. I'd be excited to have you as my student. If you're a Rapid Heal student, there is an upgrade option there for you. So jump in there. And if you're not, you get Rapid Heal, the Heal Yourself membership, the Rapid Heal membership in there for free. So I appreciate you guys. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. And I will see you guys in our next training video. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.